All right, guys, so this is Shane here. I'm at Todd Brown's MFA Live event, and it's been just fantastic. Like seriously, dude. This has been, no word of a lie, has been one of the best events I've ever been at.
Very cool.
And the reason is that everything is just right down to, you've got so much knowledge that we can ask any question, and this guy is amazing. He answers absolutely everything, anything to do with your marketing funnels, offers. What is your market's level of sophistication? There was so much stuff we covered. It was unbelievable. So, but for the crowd that's in Boulder Future, they're people that are mostly they've got products that they want to sell online.
Okay.
They're running ads because they've taken my course, so that's good. But a lot of times they come to me and they go, Shane, my ad's not working. I don't understand why it's not converting. And most of the time it has to do with the offer. And you talked a lot about this. So maybe help them out with a little bit about, what do you do to go about, what are the steps to go about making sure you've crafted the right offer?
Well, it starts first and foremost with looking at the competitive landscape, seeing what it is that competitors are offering, and looking at the different elements of what makes up an offer, and looking one by one at each. And looking at what your competitors are offering in terms of, for example, what are the deliverables? What are the features of what it is that your competitors are offering? Right. Why is that important? It's important because what we're looking for is gaps. We're looking for features that aren't being offered. We're looking for elements of the offer that we can come in and plug in these gaps so that we have a superior feature set. Then, of course, there's price and terms. Terms are pay up front, or pay 12 payments, or pay X now and then X in the future. And really, I want to understand what it is that competitors are offering so that we can put together better price and terms, more compelling, more interesting to prospects. That's one of those hugely critical elements of an offer that a lot of marketers don't understand. You change the terms and you could double, triple conversions. You go from a hard offer to a soft offer. You go from a pay up front, pay $49 today, and then if you don't love it, return it, to pay nothing today, get the product, enjoy it for the next 30 days, and then only pay after that. You can double, triple, quadruple conversions in some cases. And and then we want to look at, of course, the premiums and bonuses, and we want to make sure that we have premiums and bonuses in our offer that are addressing every possible objection or excuse for why somebody wouldn't buy. Every reason that somebody could have for not buying that's not addressed in the main product should be addressed in one or more of the premiums or bonuses. We want to look at what competitors are offering in that area, and we want to make sure that what we create, what we have, what we include is superior. And the last thing that I would say just about the premiums and bonuses, is that it's not about what do we have in stock, or what do we have behind the scenes, or what do we have that's collecting dust, or what do we have on our hard drive, right? It's about, when it comes to crafting the offer, it's about what is the thing that's going to convert best. Recognizing that it takes tremendous measures to move a prospect to become a customer for the first time. When there's no trust, there's no relationship, there's no bond. Moving them to whip out their wallet, whip out their credit card and buy takes tremendous measures. And so you have to go the distance with your offer, including premiums and bonuses. And then finally, there's risk reversal. What's the guarantee? What are competitors offering? Are they offering any guarantee? A 14-day guarantee, a 30-day guarantee, a double your money back guarantee, is it a conditional guarantee, an unconditional guarantee? Why? Because I'm going to look to put together a superior risk reversal. And those are really the core elements that you need to look at. You need to look at competitors, and then you need to go the distance with creating a superior and irresistible offer. I think what makes it irresistible is when each of those components are superior. So when your features, your deliverables are superior, when your price and terms are superior, when your premiums and bonuses are superior, when your risk reversal is superior, that when those components are superior, it adds up to an irresistible,
they all come together
offer.
for that irresistible offer.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I really loved was, that I found really interesting, and I kind of knew it, but the way you described it was really unique, and it kind of made the light click on for me, was, when you're building up to that offer, you showed that graph where it had 75% of the time that you spend is building up the desire, and then the last 25% is when you show them your offer kind of thing. That was really good.
Yeah, because I think what it really comes down to, right, is that, like I said, we're marketers, right? We're not salespeople.
Right.
Selling is all about, selling is when you're talking about the product, the service, the features, the advantages.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, the company, when you're talking about you, and that's the final stage, right? We're marketers, and marketing is all about turning your prospect's desire for an outcome, for a result, for a transformation into demand for your product or service, ultimately into demand for your offer. And in order to do that, right, that's marketing. That's not about the product or the service or you or your company. That's about the prospect and their problem and their situation and the obstacles standing in their way. And it's really about understanding, what do they need to believe to buy? What do they need to believe to buy your product before you ever even mention your product? What do they need to believe about the perfect solution for their situation, the perfect recipe, the perfect antidote, the perfect way to relieve their problem, right? Which of course should ultimately be your product, but they need to buy into the way your product works to solve their problem before you offer them your product. And that's marketing. And that's why I look at, that roughly 75% of what I do, 75% of what I say, 75% of what we show and demonstrate and do and present is all about marketing. Is all about the prospect. Is all about leading the prospect to believe what we need them to believe so they could buy. And that's why, I talked about how I think like a prosecutor. I don't think like a salesperson. I'm not trying to sell somebody on anything. I'm presenting a rock solid, airtight, emotional and logical argument, just like a prosecutor does to a jury, with the purpose of leading the jury to say this person is guilty, and then the prosecutor gives the call to action. Go back to the room, find him guilty, come out, and that's what we're doing, right?
The whole time you were talking about that yesterday, I kept running through my head. I'm thinking, if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah, and
it's
demonstrate
coming to a logical decision.
Showing like in that case, it's almost like look, one of the things that they need to believe, right, at that time that was, I think, Johnny Cochran. It was look, this is one of the pieces of evidence that the prosecutor is presenting, but if it doesn't fit, then obviously it can't be OJ, right? That was the kind of thing. And so that was part of the claim, like it was an OJ, and here's an example, the glove doesn't fit, and let's do a demonstration to prove it. Right. And that was one of the things. Okay, so now check that off, right? And then check that off and check that off. And that's really what we're doing.
Good. So, so the one thing I just wanted to make note to everyone here is in Bolder Future is that what the light really clicked on, because all of your focus, all of that focus is on the prospect or your client or the people that you're trying to serve.
Yeah.
There's no focus internal. There's no, like you said, it's not about looking at some product that you have that you think should sell because that's what you've got.
Right.
It's all about them and solving their problem. And I find sometimes we get so caught up in our own businesses, in our own lives, in our own shit, that we forget to, there's a person over there on the other side. I know it's digital, and I know you're creating videos like we're doing today, but right now, I know that I've got some people on the other side of this video right now, and these are the kinds of things that they want to know, and so I'm trying to be kind of like a reporter for them, because I know that they need it. So with that, one last question. You talk a lot about this thing you call the big idea.
Yeah.
Maybe tell a couple of words about what's your philosophy on the big idea.
First, let me make sure that I give credit where credit's due, right? That this is something that I was first introduced to, and I was taught many years ago by Mark Ford. You may know him as Michael Masterson, New York Times bestseller, just genius guy. And so I got to give credit where credit is due. I think I've just kind of expanded it to our world, but it's all credit goes to Mark. The big idea is just this, that today, prospects in the overwhelming majority of markets are exposed to thousands of marketing and advertising messages on a weekly, monthly basis. And the days of screaming a louder promise, a bigger, bolder, hyped up, exaggerated promise and expecting that to work, those are long gone. People are a lot more jaded today. They're a lot more cynical today. There's a lot less trust because of the internet. The internet happens to be the least trusted communication medium of them all, right?
Yeah.
We trust newspaper more than the internet. We trust direct mail more than the internet. We trust print more than the internet. So the internet already inherently has a lower level of trust. They're already seeing hyped up messages and exaggerated claims and promises. There's more noise and more competition than ever before for the attention of our prospects. And so the days of of simply just screaming louder are long gone. And so today you need another method, another way of grabbing attention and creating engagement. You need another way to suck prospects in and get them to say, this is worth my time and attention. This is worth me engaging with this message. And so the big idea is a way of doing that. And the big idea is an idea that is emotionally compelling and intellectually interesting. It appeals to the heart and it appeals to the head, which is really kind of two of the three principles of persuasion from Aristotle, appealing to the head, appealing to the heart, appealing to the logic, and appealing to the emotion. And it's really, it's an idea that's new, that's unique, that's different, that's fresh, that's shocking, that's startling, that's easy to grasp, and that has a primary promise, a big, bold, audacious, but believable and true promise built in, promise of transformation, promise of outcome, promise of result. And it's got an element that seems newsworthy, that feels like a discovery, that triggers that aha moment. And by pushing yourself to come up with a big idea for your funnel, a big idea behind the marketing message. And the big idea is really the advertisement for the funnel. It's not an advertisement for the product. It's not, right? It's the idea behind the message that you're then going to communicate. And it's an idea designed to cut through the noise, prevent mental opt-out, prevent prospects from saying, oh, I've heard that, I've seen that, I know that already. And instead, it's designed to give prospects this feeling like, wow, I want to hear more about this. I need to know more about this, at which point you have the opportunity to bring them into the lead, the first 300, 500, 800 words of your marketing funnel, whether that's a, video, sales letter, webinar, whatever, and deliver the message.
Well, I like that. I mean, what I really love about it too is that it's steeped in, it's not just about, it's about getting them results is what it is. And so the big idea isn't just coming up with some marketing fancy thing. It's steeped in the results that that you've got a proven track record of being able to get. You kind of blend all those things into this big idea that creates the hook around your funnel, around your offer. Yeah,
and it's really recognizing that, like, look, it's this. And I say this all the time to our clients and students and whatnot, that, you can never underestimate the task at hand, right? Like we said earlier, you can't underestimate the task at hand, not just when it comes to making the sale, but even when it comes to getting attention. Attention is, arguably the most scarce resource, that we have. And so you've got to recognize that it takes enormous measures to get attention and create, ultimately turn that attention into engagement, which is what you need for somebody to consume your marketing message. And so don't underestimate the task at hand. You need an idea that's compelling. You need an idea that's arresting. You need an idea that's interesting. You've got to think like if you were flipping through the newspaper or a magazine, what's it going to take for you to stop and say, wow, what's that about? I need to hear more. I want to hear more. And it's even more pressing, more critical, more necessary on the internet, where your prospects are one click away, 1 second away from saying, it's not for me, right? Seeing your ad on Facebook and just scrolling beyond that. Like, don't think that because you publish it and you run it, that it's going to get attention, right? So people see it's boring, gone. Scroll past it, done. It's got to grab attention. It's got to seize their attention. It's got to be shocking, startling. It's got to be compelling. It's got to move them. It's got to stop them dead in their tracks. Grab them by the lapel and say, you need to look at this right now.
Yeah. It's not like the good old days when I was in sales, they couldn't get away from you. And we had tricks that we do, like you take them on a golf outing or
and they're not going anywhere now.
For the next 5 hours.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And so
well, that's good. Well, hey, that's awesome. This has been a great contribution to our community, and I'd like to give back by saying, like, I'm here at MFA Live this weekend, and it's been fantastic. And Todd has some recordings, and they're available, I think, just for a while, right? Yeah, the recordings are available at mfaliveevent.com. So MFA Live, LIVE,
event, event.com. And yeah, it's been a great event, and it's been my pleasure having you here, man,
awesome.
and your contribution and just it's been awesome, man. And so thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, and I got to present on stage at Todd's event. So
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
pretty awesome.
Next year we gotta, we'll expand that, and we'll give
Yeah,
you
that'd be good.
yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
But so yeah, that's fantastic. Todd, it's been great. This is Shane and Todd live from Fort Lauderdale.